Welcome, everyone. Welcome to what is going to be a crazy packed day. We are coming thick and fast to you today, and we've got sessions back to back. We've got tiny little breaks here and there. Probably you're going to have a chance to pee at lunchtime, maybe if we're lucky. Other than that, we're going full on. And I'm so excited. One of the things I'm going to have to try and do in my role as MC today is not to get too engrossed in the talks and just sit there going, because I've got to go up on stage afterwards or ask smart questions. So a little bit of housekeeping first. Toilets are down there. Please do tweet, please do share, please do explore the ideas we're talking about today. There's some really exciting stuff happening on this stage, and these ideas are really going to grow, and there's something that we should really sit with and discuss. And as I'll talk about in a minute, but we're going to have an opportunity later in the day to do a workshop where we can share our ideas and build something together. And because this topic is such a live topic, it really needs all of our contributions as well. So please do feel like you're very much part of this. So we've got different formats of sessions. We've got some talks, we've got some panel discussions, we've got some really exciting demos. And I don't want to spoil any of the demos, but from some of the descriptions, you'll know what they are. There's one that involves voice cloning, and already it's tricked me by mistake. They did a demo, and they cloned the voice of one of the organizers here, and I went straight to the organizer and went, "You're on a hot mic." And he went, "No, they just cloned my voice." I went, "Oh, yeah, sorry." And I knew this was coming. So it is absolutely happening, and it's happening live. We've got a really diverse set of topics as well, looking at all the way from creation through production and post-production and beyond. So any part of the filmmaking journey that you're on, any part of the process you're in, there'll be something for you here. I thought I'd give you a little introduction about who I am so that you can get a sense of, because I'll be taking you through the day. I'll be nipping on and off between the sessions, giving you a sense of what's going to happen, asking questions on your behalf. Hopefully I won't be coming to do the sort of thank you very much and take the mic away, play that Oscar music, but we'll see, because we've got so much to get through, but we'll see. We did have protests here, apparently, yesterday, and this got me really excited. I was like, brilliant. What were they from, like WGA? Were they actors? Turns out it was Shell. So, yeah. But still, I'm all for protests, so if any of you are secretly protesting, I'll let you know when's the best time for the most dramatic effect. Let me know. So yeah, my personal journey, by training, I'm a screenwriter. I run a story agency that helps charities raise money using strategic stories. But I'm also a film data analyst, and I've, for the last decade or so, been studying the film industry. Recently I got a new gig as a Guinness World Record adjudicator for silly records. So for movie silly records. So I do the whole gamut of from storytelling through to data and analysis. And my journey with AI started last year. Beginning of last year, where I do a lot of work with scientists, and I've got a friend who's a cosmologist in Sweden, and he, at the beginning of the year, said, there's this new AI model that no one's got access to. They won't give it to anyone, and they keep saying it's really dangerous. And it's all bullshit. I hate this. This is the worst thing about science. And then a week or so later, he called me up again and went, oh my God, it's real. I got access. This was GPT-3. He was like, you can get it to do terrible things, and he listed all the terrible things he'd got it to do. And it was great. How can we use this? So we were chatting. I was in New York teaching at NYU, so we were able to meet with some producers, and we got a script deal at WGA minimums to write entirely making GPT-3 do all the work. Obviously, that took a lot of work, but no creative ideas from us, no feedback, no nothing, just a self-designed machine. And that was a year and a half ago. A friend of mine has just got another script deal to write with ChatGPT, and they threw him $1,000 and said that better be all the drafts. So it's gone down by a factor of 60 in under 12 months. So it's been a crazy period for that kind of stuff. And there are lanyards now as well. So if you want that journey from what is this new space age technology to the point where there are lanyards, you know it's come full circle into the consciousness and into the operations of all our work. One of the things you're going to see today is that these are things that we're actively using and you can use today as well in many cases. So after that, I started to do more consulting. I started teaching screenwriters, so I spent a lot of time helping screenwriters work out how they can use AI in their process. That's been very public. And a lot of the private stuff I've done has been consulting with Hollywood producers and development teams about how they can use AI. I'm on an NDA about who I've spoken to, but that's quite good, because it means I can tell you what I've spoken about, because you don't know who it is. And I can tell you for a fact, every single Hollywood producer who's hired me to talk about AI and every single development team that have ever paid me to talk about AI have all asked if they can replace writers. The only thing stopping them is the ability. I'm not saying all the others will or whatever. I'm just saying right now, the single thing stopping them is their ability to do so. They can't yet, so it doesn't seem as scary to me just yet. And then we've got these strikes going on with the actors and the writers, and AI being a big part of that conversation. This is very real. This is very happening. And as you'll see from the demos of what we're doing today, these are tools that you can use right now. And then finally, I've been facilitating a lot of conversations, so hosting events like this. I've got a podcast called Authored by AI, where we're talking to lots of people in film and AI about this new world we're entering. And I wanted to share a little anecdote of one of the people we interviewed, because I think it gives a really good example. If you've got the writers and development teams saying, how can we replace writers? We spoke to a lot of writers as well, including Dave Reynolds, who wrote Finding Nemo. And this was last summer, and we showed him a demo of what we were doing. And he said, wow, if I had this, I would print out a script once a week and sell it to Hollywood. And I'd go and retire and live on a boat. And I said to him, what would you do on the boat? And he said, probably write. And I think that really speaks to like the different, not better or worse, but like there is a business side to cinema, there is an artistic side to cinema, and the interplay of those two is what we're here to talk about today and how we integrate those two. Business being all about trying to do things the same, more, and art being about trying to destroy things, create new visions, do something fresh and different. And the integration of those has always been the challenge with cinema and the film business, and it's now going to speed up and get deeper and more intense with AI. It's the same thing we've all been playing with in the industry for over a century, but it's just happening at breakneck speed. So today we have an incredible run of sessions. I'm not going to go through all of them now just for time, but they're on your app, but I will pick out some of them because they kind of fall into one of three categories. And these are the three things I'd like you to be thinking about throughout the day. First, we have the power of AI. What can we do? So we have a session showing you demos of technologies that are incredible. So we've got, straight after this, we've got a video from a filmmaker who faked his life using AI. And he can't be with us today. There's a couple of VTs, and those people wanted to be with us today but couldn't. But he's the one person who might make it look like he was all along, because he might auto-generate all the photos and the videos, and you'll see. So it may look like he was here, but I can promise you, being here, he's not here. But we're also going to look at where you can turn your script straight into pre-visualization, into images, how you can get things out of your head and into the heads of your team and whoever gatekeepers you need to impress. And also looking at voices. As I mentioned earlier on, the generation of voices is so convincing that even though I knew that was happening, it still convinced me that it was a real person on a hot mic. So the power of what's possible. And there's some other examples throughout the day as well about how you can use these tools right now to amplify your art and your process. So the second theme of the day, well, we all know what comes with great power, great responsibility. So we're going to talk about responsibility. We've got a panel about ethics, real ethics, thinking about what this is going to do. How should we use these? I mean, personally speaking, if you can just generate your own episode of Mork and Mindy with your cousin in it when you come home at night and press a button, who are you going to pay for copyright? Who's going to stop you from doing that? And all of the considerations of jobs and things like that. And the legal issues and things like that. So we're going to have a panel about that. And we're also going to co-create this afternoon in a workshop, a manifesto, and we're going to collect ideas. We'll talk more about that a bit later on, but I want you to start thinking about your views of what we should and shouldn't be doing and how we should be using this. So we've got the power, we've got the responsibility, and then we've got the revolution. What does this mean? What's going to happen? In this live environment that we're in this year, next year, what is likely to happen? And we've got a load of talks that are going to, and sessions which are going to cover that. Blurring the lines between post-production and, production and post-production with virtual sets and live, real-time visual effects. Storytelling, we've also got translation, live translations and things like that. And a panel about beyond cinema. What is going to change with this new world that we're in. We also have a fascinating talk about, which is super exciting to me as a nerd, about how we can use AI to change the process of film classification. You know, things like the BBFC and things like that, and how that is a good example of behind the scenes of how something can be done entirely differently, and we're then going to talk about what effect that's going to have on the industry and on the future we're all in. So as I said, it's going to be a lot. You're going to have to self-regulate yourselves, and if there is just too much, don't worry about spacing out, coming back. There is going to be a lot going on here. For some of the longer sessions, we will have a chance for audience questions. Please wait for the mic to come along. This is being streamed and recorded. For some of the shorter sessions, I'm going to ask a couple of questions if there's time. but we want to try and get as many people on the stage as possible, so there may not be audience questions there. But just after the lunch break at 2 o'clock, there will be a workshop where we can work together and listen to each other's thoughts and bring something together. So to sort of get us into the day, I want us to be thinking about the power of what we can do. Imagine that for yourself, for your art, your business, whatever it is. The responsibility of what we should be doing. And then also the revolution, what's going to happen. And when we were talking about this last year, when Eliel, this physicist, and myself were working on it, it was very theoretical. People were like, yeah, maybe it'll be worrying, maybe it'll have this effect, but it felt like sci-fi. It feels unbelievably real now, and it really is, and there are strikes that are talking about it. There are people's livelihoods that are going to shift. Some are going to improve, some are going to have a harder time, and you as filmmakers can access so much of what we're talking about. So this is not theory anymore. This is live, this is happening. I think it's super exciting. It's also super terrifying. I can be honest, the more you work with AI, the more you have days where your mind is completely blown and other days where you think it's an idiot and it kind of revolves. If any of you have been spending a long time with any of these large language models like ChatGPT or any other ones, you'll know that cycle of this thing's an idiot, oh my God, look what it's just done. And I think there's going to be a lot of those cycles today. So hopefully your mind will be blown and also your possibilities will increase as well of what you can do. So what I want to do is sort of transition into our first thing we have is a video from a filmmaker called Kyle. Now, I'll try not to steal his thunder. He did want to be with us today, but he couldn't, as I said. But he has started to use a lot of the models that are available now to create another reality. And this actually happened, has already happened, and so already the tools are better than we have here. One of the tools he used was Stability, and we're going to hear from Joe from Stability in the session after that. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce How I Faked My Life with AI from Kyle Vorbach. And yeah, take it away.